I had always dreamed of marriage. Until now, I have been focused on work and worked hard, but I had high hopes for the married life I had admired. However, reality wasn't so sweet.
Hey, take better care of my mom.
You're so inconsiderate. You lack awareness as a wife.
Why am I being told such unreasonable things by my husband and my mother-in-law Fiona, even though I'm doing my best at home? This is far from the married life I imagined. I will break free from these terrible, difficult days, no matter what. My name is Tina. I'm 33 years old. I have been single all this time. I didn't really have any desires to get married in the first place and have been working non-stop since graduating college. Then, before I knew it, I was 33. Looking at my friends, all I heard were stories of marriage and having children. Realizing my situation, I quickly joined a matchmaking party. I met Harry there, and after dating for 3 months, we quickly proceeded to get married. Harry was also 33. Like me, he had realized his situation and was desperate to find himself a wife. Did we rush into marriage? I sometimes think so, but since we had no major disagreements, we lived a peaceful married life. Then one day, after about half a year of such a life with him, we received news that my mother-in-law Fiona, who was living with her mother, had hurt her back and was having trouble moving around. Fiona's mother needed assistance due to her being frail, and Fiona was the one taking care of her. Given her back pain, life would become more difficult. Harry and I discussed our future. As a result, we decided to live with his parents and help out daily. I had always thought that living with my mother-in-law was inevitable at some point, but I assumed it would be in the distant future. I never imagined it would come so soon like this. I wonder if Harry sensed my uneasiness about living together, because he cheered me up by saying,
Tina, both Mom and Grandma are kind. You don't have to worry so much.
When we got married, his mother was very kind, and I didn't have a bad impression of her. So, even though moving in together was sudden, I wasn't overly concerned about it. Then, the day of the move came. When we arrived at Fiona's house with our luggages, she welcomed us with a smile.
Welcome! I've been waiting for you. From today on, I look forward to live with you.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience, Fiona. Thank you for having us. We're in your care. After exchanging greetings, we entered the house. We placed our belongings in the designated rooms and headed to the living room with Harry for a little break. But the moment we sat on the sofa, Fiona objected.
Wait! Tina, can you please clean up? This isn't the time to relax.
What? Clean up right now?
Yes, there are cleaning tools next to the entrance. When you're done with that, please clean the entire house.
Fiona said this to me with a smile as if it were obvious. I wondered if it's normal to be asked to clean the house immediately upon moving in. And she said this as if it were a normal thing, without any hint of an apology or any guiltiness. As it was the first day of us living together, I suppressed my urge to argue back and began cleaning. Not only did Fiona delegate all the cleaning tasks to me, but she also came to check on me from time to time, nagging and pointing out things.
Tina, do you have bad eyesight? There's still dust here. Polish it more thoroughly.
Each time she said that, I felt irritated, but I kept telling myself that she couldn't clean well due to her back pain. So I continued cleaning without arguing back. However, a shocking revelation awaited me that night. As soon as we started eating dinner, Fiona made an unexpected request.
Tina, since we're living together, you should take care of the house every day from now on.
What? Every day? I have to handle all the chores every day?
Yes, all of them. I can't because of my back pain. I can't clean, do laundry, or cook properly. There's no other way, right?
This is too much. I'm working full-time. Handling all the chores every day is impossible. It's unfortunate, but if I accept Fiona's unreasonable demand, I'll be overwhelmed. I felt a sense of crisis and decided to speak up. Upon hearing those words, Fiona glared at me with an extremely angry expression.
You're still working? Tina, didn't you say you'd quit once we decided to live together?
No, I really like my current job and I want to continue it. I have no intention of quitting.
What? You won't quit?
Fiona suddenly became agitated and raised her voice.
You agreed to live here to help take care of me and my mother, and to do house chores, didn't you? What do you mean you're continuing your job?
I was at a loss for words when faced with her selfish argument. Moreover, I never once said that I'd quit my job once moving in together. During our exchange, my husband, who had been silently listening next to me, chimed in.
Calm down, Mom. I don't make a lot of money. Thanks to Tina, we're able to make ends meet. From now on, you and Grandma will also be relying on our salaries, right?
I see, but...
To my husband's words, Fiona only mumbled something and went silent. It was a relief. If my husband could firmly put a stop to Fiona's unreasonable demands, I could live peacefully. Yes, but when I felt relieved...
But well, Tina is capable of handling both work and house chores. I'm sure she'll manage them both perfectly.
Excuse me? I was shocked by my husband's unexpected words and quickly looked back at him. Wait, how did he come to that conclusion? Did he not realize how tough it was for me? I had to support our household and do all the chores, all the while not cutting corners at work. I felt hopeless, thinking about our future. Despite my confusion, my husband smiled confidently, saying,
I know Tina can handle it.
Seeing our interaction, Fiona also nodded in agreement.
If Harry said so, then it must be true. Tina, as long as you continue working, please manage the house chores properly too, okay?
And with that, she concluded the conversation. Despite my efforts to explain that I'm busy with work and need help with the household chores, neither my husband nor Fiona seemed to listen to me. My husband would return home earlier than me and yet wouldn't help me with anything. Moreover, even when I was busy right after returning from work, he'd pout and complain.
Tina, I'm hungry. Isn't dinner ready yet?
I couldn't stand my husband's attitude and argued to him. Hey, Harry, you come home 2 hours earlier than I do. Why don't you sometimes make dinner?
Huh? Why should I? Mom always says it's the wife's job.
Seriously? You're talking about your mom again? Every time there's an issue, he'd always bring up, Mom said this, Mom said that. He's such a mama's boy. Indeed, my husband would always behave exactly as his mother said to him. Every day, Fiona would nag and criticize me.
Tina, the dinner you've been making lately feels rushed. I don't complain about the pre-made lunches, but at least make a proper dinner. You know, I don't like seeing a messy room in the morning. Can you finish cleaning before going to work?
Just like that, she asks for things that are completely impossible for me to do, as if it were a normal thing. Despite these being obviously unreasonable requests, I had to get up at 4 a.m. every day to complete all the chores. And then one day, Fiona made an outrageous demand.
Tina, I heard from Harry that you're earning a decent salary. You see, my back pain is making it hard for me to work, so could you help me out a bit?
What? Help you out a bit? Wait a minute. I can't keep quiet about such a sudden request. Our expenses have increased since we started living together, and I can't afford to provide additional financial support.
What are you saying? Harry told me everything about your promotion and how your salary has increased. For this month, just give me $50.
What? That's absurd! At first, I thought I will never give in, and firmly refused. But Fiona persistently kept demanding, always trying to extort money from me. Eventually, she started to tell outrageous lies just to get money from me.
Hey, Tina, when will you give me the money? Didn't you say you wanted to support me with rent every month?
What? Fiona, I never said such a thing.
Tina, did you really say that? If so, you should keep your promise. You have to pay my mother properly.
My husband, who had been listening to the conversation between Fiona and I, suddenly intervened.
If you said that, you have to support my mother properly, right?
To my surprise, with my husband's unexpected support, Fiona confidently and condescendingly told me,
Well, Harry says so. That being said, Tina, I'm counting on you from now on.
From this unbelievable incident, my hellish and painful days began. If I ever tried to slack off even a little, I'd be showered with harsh words like idiot and useless from both my husband and Fiona. I felt like running away from this house because of all the hurtful words, but my pride wouldn't let me do that. I got married at 33 and was blessed for my family and my colleagues. But now to think of divorce so soon, I couldn't bear the shame to share this with those who blessed us. Thus, I continued to work, conflicted between my true feelings and my pride. But one day, due to overwork, I collapsed during work. But instead of showing any concerns, my husband and Fiona only sent me heartless texts like, "When are you getting discharged? Hurry up and come home to do the chores." Normally, such messages would make me angry, but this time, having collapsed during work, I was emotionally and physically drained and felt deeply hurt by their messages. As I lay in bed feeling down, my boss came to visit and see how I was doing.
How are you feeling? What happened? It wasn't just work that made you collapse, was it?
My boss, who I've worked with for a long time, stared at me, posing a direct and poignant question. I knew I couldn't deceive him. I finally decided to tell him everything about the problems and circumstances I was facing. And that's what happened. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day to finish all the housework before coming to work. I think that's why I've been so exhausted. After listening to my story, my boss clearly said,
Why have you been silently enduring such difficult situation? You should divorce that terrible man.
I had never been scolded like that in work before. I was taken aback by his loud voice. What? But I just got married. Divorce?
Hey, what are you saying at a time like this? If you keep going on with this married life, you'll definitely be destroyed. Is your husband someone you want to spend your life with?
Caught off guard by my boss's unexpected question, I was taken aback. I thought I got married because I wanted to be happy, but this marriage has been tormenting me, and it has come to this.
You are an incredibly talented person. It's absurd to think you're a failure. I trust you completely with work, and as a person, you are impeccable. And yet you're with someone who just looks down on you and doesn't appreciate your worth. You're just torturing yourself.
Thanks to my boss's compassionate words, I was able to reflect on myself. That's right, I won't let myself be unhappy. I'll divorce my husband. And I'll break away from that dreadful house and reclaim myself. Even when things were tough, I used to think, at least I managed to get married. Or, what will people say if I got a divorce? I'll be embarrassed. Such silly thoughts kept spinning in my mind. But I can't be concerned about what other people think about me anymore. However, after being tormented so much, simply divorcing quietly feels somewhat not enough. Until now, I endured all the hardships they put me through. I can't be at peace until I take my revenge on Fiona and Harry. So, I consulted with my boss and hatched a certain plan. To execute this plan, I decided to live quietly in my in-laws' house for another 2 weeks. I'm going to give them a shock so bad that they won't be able to recover. So for the next 2 weeks, I lived with my husband and Fiona, who would torment me. And finally, the day to execute my revenge arrived. Actually, it was Fiona's mother's birthday. A lot of relatives were supposed to gather at the in-laws' house to celebrate. I prepared the dishes and arrangements as Fiona instructed for the relatives. After everything was ready, I secretly began to prepare to leave the house. As the promised time arrived, one by one the relatives came, and the lively dinner party began. My room was just opposite of the living room, so I could hear the conversations of the relatives and Fiona clearly.
Gosh, where's Tina? Everyone's here. What is she doing?
As Fiona muttered, The relatives started asking questions.
But doesn't Tina live with you? She must be helpful, right? That's nice.
Well, yes, but she's just terrible at housework. I end up doing everything.
Oh dear, that sounds tough for you.
Exactly. She's so slow and incompetent. I've had a hard time.
Mom, why don't you call Tina over?
I should.
As she said that, she came to call me.
Tina, come on! Everyone's already here. You need to come now. Hurry up!
Following her instructions, I headed towards the living room. In my hand was a suitcase.
Huh. What's this? Why such a big suitcase? Is this a joke?
Ignoring Harry, I said loudly enough for all the relatives to hear. I'm leaving this house, so these are my essentials.
Huh?
My unexpected answer left everyone, including my husband and Fiona, stunned. Suddenly regaining her senses, she exclaimed,
What nonsense are you talking about? This is why I always said...
Interrupting her, I pulled out a voice recorder from my pocket and played it in front of everyone. The recorder contained numerous instances where my husband and Fiona badmouthed and ridiculed me.
Really, you marrying Tina was a mistake. Why did you marry someone like her?
She seemed desperate to get married at 33, so I thought, why not? But she's so useless now.
Maybe you should be with a younger girl who can work more efficiently. Why not replace her with someone younger?
Haha, that's a good idea. What? Is that your voice, Harry?
Relatives who heard the recording started to make commotion.
Huh? Are they bullying her? Is this Harry's voice? That's so cruel. How could they say such heartless things to someone who's supposed to be a partner in this house? Terrible.
The relatives, shocked by the recording, began to condemn my husband and Fiona. Seeing their reactions, their faces went pale. Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, they've been verbally abusing me. It's true. I also explained aloud for everyone to hear. I've tried my best and done everything I could, but instead of giving me any appreciation, I only received harsh, terrible words from them. I can't take it anymore, so I'm leaving this house.
Wait, Tina, please calm down.
She suddenly started getting anxious and tried to calm me down, but I couldn't care less. Fiona, what are you talking about now? Isn't it you who should be panicking now that the truth is out? When I spoke my mind, Fiona looked down with her face turning red. Then my husband, who was listening on the side, said to me in dismay,
Tina, this must be a joke, right? I never intended to belittle you, not even a bit. I just wanted you to be a good wife and help my mom.
A good wife, you say? Remembering all the wrongs done to me, I said sarcastically, looking down on Harry. Your definition of a good wife means waking up at 4 a.m. every day for chores and giving $1,000 to your mom every month? If that's the case, I can't do it. I'd rather live alone for the rest of my life.
What? You'd rather be alone? What? You were making her give $1,000 to your mom every month? That's crazy. If that's too much, it's beyond cruel.
As my truths exposed, whispers spread among the relatives who now looked down on Harry. My husband looked devastated, holding back tears. But now that I see his sad face, I don't even feel bad for him anymore. Harry, it's over. Goodbye. We'll discuss the divorce another day. Saying that, I left his family's house without looking back. Afterwards, I prepared for the divorce procedures at a lawyer's office. The verbal abuse from Harry and Fiona recorded on my voice recorder played a crucial role as evidence, and I was able to claim a substantial amount of property division from my husband and his mother. They were ostracized by the whole family after the incident. To make matters worse, it happened to be Fiona's mother's birthday. When Fiona's mother learned of everything, she was furious, and apparently threw both of them out of the house. Now they live in a run-down apartment, struggling with Harry's meager salary and the property division monthly that they owe me. It's poetic justice. They got what they deserved. As for me, I felt much better after everything was settled. I could attend work without issues, performing at my best, passionately devoted to my job. My boss acknowledged my dedication, and I even heard talks of a promotion. And there's more to the story. One day, to my surprise, my boss proposed to me.
Truth is, I've always had feelings for you. Will you marry me?
So that's why he was so concerned when I was hospitalized. It all made sense in retrospect. However, I declined his proposal. I've had enough of marriage. I've decided to let go of the idea of marriage. I want to focus on what truly matters to me and live my life to the fullest.